Hello everyone and welcome to the FPL Cougars show. I'm Chris.
I'm Kieran.
And today we are kinda previewing Gameweek 19. We're going to talk about our Christmas wish lists. We're also going to talk captaincy, reveal our teams, plan transfers, the Cougar Cup picks, and we're going to answer some of your questions. Thanks for sending those in. It's a short show tonight because it's Christmas and, people have got things to do. So we're going to go straight into the Gameweek review. Gameweek 18. Kieran, let's hear about your points, please.
Yeah, 37 points. So the 1 point above the overall average, which obviously a bit of a crud week, unfortunately. Tried to be smart and put Soyuncu in instead of Hayden. Thought he might keep it, I don't know, at least quiet or tight, but yeah, that didn't end up happening. So yeah, if I put Hayden in instead, I would have got up to about 40, which would have been nice, but yeah, it never happened. But anyway, yeah, 122k down to 168k, which isn't the worst drop, not the end of the world, but yeah, I got my wish of not going nowhere the last few weeks. I've gone downwards by 40k instead, so yeah, great.
You've made it interesting for yourself now.
Yeah, true. I've got to go back up and now, but anyway, so Lundstrom 6 points, KDB 4 points, Grealish was probably one of the best parts this week. Obviously last week he got that 0, so pay me back a little bit, and obviously Vardy with the captaincy that we talked about. Why did we ever take it off him? And then obviously stuck with my initial captain of Rashford, and he looked crud, so yeah, that was a massive fail.
We had
and
quite
like I said, he's dead to me.
Yeah, we had quite a lot of comments on the video saying, can't believe Kieran's actually going with Rashford, given all that you've said about him in the past. And I didn't actually watch the game on Sunday, but I had this message from you that came up before I'd even saw the score about, I don't know, it was a lot of uppercase words, and it was about how crud Rashford was, basically, and I figured it wasn't going well from that point.
Funnily enough, in my latest draft, I've got Rashford as captain for this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, God.
Anyway.
Well, I did slightly better, but not by much. I think I had Pope in goal, who obviously got the clean sheet and that mad bonus point. No idea how, because I look at the stats. Got no idea how he claimed that. I think my highest scorer was Vardy, like you. I also had Grealish. Captain's son, after in the show saying I was going to stick it on KDB. And I just got a bit swayed. I just thought Chelsea are going to be worse than Leicester.
I didn't know you'd done that until I think it was Sunday night, and I was just like, "Oh my god, what's happened?"
I know. I was so keen to keep it on KDB, and then I just got talked out of it. So, funnily enough, I'm actually going to stick through. I'm going to try and stick on KDB. That's twice this season: Everton away and this game week, where I've had it on him up until like a few minutes or a few hours before, and changed it. And both times he's returned. So, I think I've just got to have a bit more faith in him. Like I think he's top of the midfielders overall points now, so yeah, just got to back him a bit more.
While he's kind of in that sort of attacking-esque 3 sort of area, he looks really good.
Yeah, and I think they'll do well against Wolves actually. But more on that in a bit. What else did happen to me? Oh, I went down and dropped from about 399,000 to 444k, so quite a big or sizable red arrow with 41 points.
Even on the average or above the average?
Yeah, just about. Oh, did you go through in your cup?
Yes,
good.
Just. I think by about 4 points. So yeah, somehow some guy had a worse week than me.
Yeah, the guy I played actually played his wild card in the week and Captain Kevin, but somehow but he had like 34. So I mean that's got to go down as a fail of a wide card as well. He was pretty active, so yeah, took a lucky win there. Right, okay, let's just talk about our manager of the week in the FPL Cougars mini league.
So it is #JesusYouth by Mika McClatchy, which is a great name. 74 points, no chips played this week. Game week rank of 10,797. Yeah, really good. Overall rank of 164k, up from 404k, which is
nice.
Decent rise. And he's 387th in the Cub League. So yeah, making some strides at the moment. Lundstrom 6 points, Tomori 7, KDB 4. The big performer in his team, William with 16.
Yeah, wow.
Vardy with 9, Ings obviously as well with his brace, and then Jimenez captain. So yeah, all the kind of top scorers this week he had in his team. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's a really nice score. William returning that. Yeah, nice differential in there. Huge,
big time.
Huge game. Yeah. How did we get on in the Cougar Cubs? I think not very well.
No. So, yeah, I went for Josh King, Burnley at home. Apparently that was one of the worst games, but possibly even worse than that Arsenal-Everton game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he got 2 points, did nothing at all. And, yeah, you had Jota, Norwich at home for a Wolves side that have been playing well, and Jota been looking good. Also blanked with 2 points. So, yeah, total-wise, 46 for me, 56 for you. December, I'm on 10, you're on 9, so I'm at least winning December at the moment. And we've got... is there 2 weeks still left in December?
Yeah.
Because all to play for in December still. But
I just wanted because the graphic wasn't loading for some reason for the Cubs one. So let me just put that up on screen while you were talking. But it sounds like it's still kind of close.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I just want to get the overall totals up. So because it was bad Jota pick on my part, I think.
And this week I think is probably something. I don't know. I've got 2 decent ones lined up. I hope, and yeah, they're not boring picks this week. Unlike last week, I had King and obviously Richarlison. Richarlison's been a bit crap in the Cooper Cup picks lately. Anyway,
well, I was pretty disappointed with Jota. I turned on thinking that Wolves did actually put a couple goals past Norwich, but to see Jota not get any involvement, despite how good his stats have been recently, we mentioned it on the show last week about how he was outperforming Jimenez. And once again, it's Jimenez who got the returns and the bonus. So,
I was worried considering I picked King. You picked Jota in a decent team. And I don't know how I forgot about him.
It's going to be close. Right, let's. So the preview we're doing this week, we're going to put our teams up on the screen right now. But we're also, the way we're doing it this week is we're going to talk about 5 picks each that we quite fancy over the Christmas period because there's going to be 2 games back to back. We just want to talk about players that we like, really. So, do you want to start off then and do one of the ones from your Christmas wish list, Kieran, and talk a little bit about it?
All right, someone who I don't think is being talked about at all in the Twitterverse and across YouTube and things and all the podcasts is Dina. So yeah, 5.7 million, 11.6%. Everton's fixtures are turning massively now with Bournemouth at home on Boxing Day, Newcastle away, Man City away, which is obviously rough, and then Bournemouth at home, Brighton at home, West Ham away, Newcastle at home again. They've got them really close to each other, and then Watford away after that. So they've got loads of sort of green fixtures other than that Man City away game in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, that fixture swing is really nice, and obviously Dina, we know what he can do. Been really good most of the season, to be honest. And obviously, I've said I wanted to get him back at some point. And yeah, I don't think it's going to happen this week for me, but I do want to get on in at some point. 11.6% for Dino, who we know does the business. Yeah. I'm tempted. Just that Everton defence, I think, could be worth improving or getting onto because of Ancelotti, who's sort of known to be quite a defensive manager, I guess. Yeah. Sidibe as well is a decent alternative at 5.3 million. Looks to be nailed on, taking Coleman out the team. And then even Holgate, if he's nailed, because he's gone well under the radar. He's had like 9 times 90 minutes in a row at 4.4 million. So yeah, if Ancelotti likes him, he could be an absolute bargain. But yeah, Dina, we know his attacking returns in this exact same fixture last year. Boxing Day, home to Burnley, he got a brace. So yeah, the history's there. And yeah, a nailed on Dina over the Christmas period feels quite good to me. Yeah,
I remember that because quite a lot of people had him on their bench, I remember. Because I think they got hammered by Tottenham the week before or something like that around Christmas. That was the game they conceded.
The 6th or something.
Yeah, and then a lot of people had him benched. I don't know. I think you had him in your team, didn't you, for that 17
I played him, yeah. I got him, yeah.
But no, I agree. So I had him at the start of the season for quite a long time. And obviously, as Silva and Everton's form sort of deteriorated, I finally got rid of it. To see him down at 5.7 now, he's definitely an attractive prospect. Those fixtures, I'd say 3 good home ones in the next 6, that Burnley, Brighton and Newcastle game. Yeah, pretty tasty. Were you surprised a bit by their sort of 0-0 draw against Arsenal? Do you think I thought they might go for it a little bit more than that, and I was surprised that they didn't score.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, Dina he had a little bit of a kind of fitness worry, didn't he, for a while? I think it was a groin issue for a few weeks, but yeah, he seems to be over that now. But yeah, that game was just utter boredom. Basically, it was just so boring, and I guess they both just sort of cancelled each other out, and just nothing happened. And I don't know, just 2 teams without proper managers at that time, just doing nothing, basically. So
yeah, strange game. I've got actually another left back that I sort of picked out as one of my players to keep an eye on over Christmas was PVA from Palace, because I think they've got two nice fixtures coming up in West Ham at home and Southampton away. Despite them sort of losing the clean sheet late on against Newcastle, it was good to see PVA back in the team. I think he's had 2 goals this season. He created 1 big chance and had 5 key passes against Newcastle. So he did look like a bit of a threat. And watching him on the highlights, he didn't seem to be playing too badly, getting far forward. I mean, Palace are bad going forward, so I got to sort of put that in perspective a little bit. I think they've had 1 big chance in each of their last 4 away games. So that Southampton game might not be good for attacking returns, but on the defensive side, he's always got a goal in him. And Palace have been good at the back recently. So yeah, I think PVA could be a nice differential over Christmas. It's quite expensive though.
Yeah, a bit expensive for you. Or?
Well, he's 5.5, and I mean we'll get onto it a bit later with Son being on our naughty list for both of us and what we've done with him. But I've got to think about replacing Son with someone. It might mean downgrading someone in defence, namely Trent. So yeah, PVA is popping up as a potential option there for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if Kelly's enough for that defence or Guaita or someone. I don't know if you need a PVA as well, but if you want to go differential, then yeah, I quite like it. Good to see him back after the hamstring injury, and yeah, he can be consistent. And I don't know. I kind of feel like Palace's clean sheets are going to dry up now. I don't really know why, but I just feel like that sort of run of 3 or 4 in a row is pretty much over now. And yeah, conceding to Almiron of all people might be a sign that I fancy Haller or someone like that to score this week. And yeah, West Ham with a whole week off, or basically 2 weeks off. I think West Ham could beat them here, really.
I mean, the fixtures beyond Southampton away aren't bad either. So I mean, it's not like he's just a short-term investment. So after that Southampton away game, they got Norwich. Then they've actually got Arsenal and Man City back to back, but then it's Southampton again. They play them twice basically in the next 6 game weeks because of the fixture turnaround. So yeah, it's definitely sort of one I'm keeping an eye on for these two. I think it's differentials like that over the Christmas period. If you can hit a team that usually I find with like the lower, well maybe Palace is included in that, but teams that are traditionally more defensive, they sort of sit back over Christmas and can be quite low scoring games. So yeah, he's one I got my eye on. Who else have you got? I'm
expecting Boxing Day to be full of goals.
Are you really?
Yeah, are you not?
In some of the games, I think there's some games that look like they're going to be quite tight. I think Liverpool-Leicester's going to be quite tight. I think Palace-West Ham is going to be quite tight because both of them are not like that good going forward. And I think maybe like one goal either way can win it. And I've got my eyes on PVA as being that goal scorer.
Really? Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Okay, you better give me a pick, Kieran. Who else have you got on your list?
All right, so the team that nobody wants to invest in because they've just lost to a terrible Watford. Hashtag Pogba. It's happening again.
Really?
Pogba he's there. He was something or someone who I would possibly like to own. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but he is someone on my wish list / watch list for sure. We know how good he can be. And yeah, in 26 minutes versus Watford, made a difference, looked impressive, looked the best player on the pitch or best player on the whole of Man United season, basically. Yeah. And yeah, man of the match performance in just 26 minutes, basically. And yeah, in those 26 minutes, he had an XG of 0.58, which is high. 1 big chance, 2 shots, 1 key pass. Yeah, expected points of 5.2 in 26 minutes. So, yeah, that's a sign of what he can do going forward. And we saw when obviously Ollie took over last year against bad teams that he was really consistent. And yeah, I think at 3.2% for Pogba, I mean, we know he's really good. Like, he could be a huge differential for someone who's willing to take that risk after obviously that horrific Watford display. There was a stat of Watford not on Sky Sports of Watford not even leading a game for 0 minutes that whole year, and United rock up and lose 2-0. So
clean sheet against them.
Yeah, it's crazy. You said it, didn't you? We thought we'd be talking about Dele Alli in that game as a match winner, but yeah, it turned out to be Sarr and Dini. But
I just didn't trust the United defence either. There was so much investment and Man United are going to be on a good clean sheet run, but they're just so unpredictable. It's why I'm already having doubts on Rashford, because for the money he's worth, he's not delivered in 2 games on paper you'd expect him to. I mean, this Newcastle game is almost like a last straw game for him and my team, just because I feel like that money can be better invested in more reliable strikers. Look at Ings, man. Look at Danny Ings, Kieran.
I'm giving Rashford this game at least, just because it feels like after such a torrid performance that United will just go back to being quite good for one game, and they'll probably comfortably beat Newcastle and then go back to being absolutely trash the next game. It's just like they'll wake up to this defeat and then do well and then just go back to normal of being terrible afterwards. So, I fancy us to Man United to beat Newcastle fairly easily, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, famous last words, I suppose. But
I think it's going to be another difficult game. It'll be tough.
Yeah. So, Pogba will he be on penalties? Maybe.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I assume he won't be. My instant thought is, I guess not, because I think Rashford has probably taken that role now. But if he is, then Pogba at 3.2% significantly increases his appeal. Differential. I don't know, maybe. So, I mean, his 6 appearances across the season so far, he's an XG of 1.42, which is pretty good. But he's averaged 2.6 points per game in that time. So, not good, basically. If you want to take the risk, I think it could be really good, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. But I think it does help at least Rashford's appeal.
It does. Well, it should be an improvement to his starting 11. It depends what his mood's like. If he's motivated to play well and play for the team, then it's only going to help United and Rashford and Martial. But remains to be seen. I mean, because of how bad the performance has been this season in games they're expected to win.
I know. Yeah, it's just Rashford gets this one, see what happens, and then Ings, maybe Jimenez just taking Jimenez out for Rashford has just been a disaster. Yeah.
Well, Jimenez is actually who I want to talk about next in one of my picks. Some of my picks aren't exactly differentials, but it's ones that if you've not already got them in, that just the stats and the form show that they're almost must have. So Jimenez's fixtures over the sort of Christmas period or before New Year, let's say, these block of 2, they suck really on paper. Man City at home and Liverpool away. But he's only blanked twice in his last 10 games. I mean, that's premium player form. And I think it's 2 returns in his last 3 now. 15 bonus points this season, which is massive. So he's had 92 points total. So that's 16% of his total points have just been bonus. And last season he got 2 assists. Earlier this season he got 2 assists at the Etihad. So I wouldn't put it past him to notch up some more attacking returns in his home game against City on Boxing Day. I just think Jimenez he's sort of been like you say. A lot of players got fed up with him because, well, maybe not even fed up. Saw Rashford scoring and thought they want a bit of that, like you did, many others did. But Jimenez has still been going about his business. He's only returned 1 double-figure haul this season, which was at just 10. But his returns are just consistent. And if he keeps doing that for the remainder of the season, which the form and the way Wolves play shows they will, he's going to finish as one of the season's top strikers again.
Yeah, I think I owned him for that blank in the last 10 weeks. So that was probably the reason why I thought, let's just jump off. Maybe he's not all that what he's made out to be. And if I kept him, I probably would have captained him against Norwich. And it's probably been about a 20-point swing. And I could have been, I could have been in the top 100k, I think, if I had those points. So. Yeah.
Well, it was before last game week. Didn't remember I said about that little voice in the back of my head saying take Abraham out, and I'm nearly close to doing it. And now I sort of think I held Abraham for this Southampton game. He better well deliver because I've backed him. But Jimenez has looked so good. So he's created 4 big chances in the last 4 game weeks. That's tied with KDB, who's top of big chances created in the last 4, and he's also had 10 shots in the box. In the last 4, and that table is actually led by Abraham, who's had 13. So he's performing well in both big chances created and having big chances. So he's doing really well.
we follow a couple of Wolves correspondents on Twitter, and they were saying that first half Wolves were just absolutely atrocious. So, but Jimenez was doing his best, and he was the best player on the pitch. So even when Wolves are bad, Jimenez seems to be quite consistent. So
and he mops up bonus because of just how well he links the play. Because he's he gets involved with key passes as well as goals, and he's just great for bonus.
I did say I thought that game would be fairly tight, and Jimenez wouldn't get it all his way, but he ended up getting return, and
yeah, he did. Right, who else you got for me then? On the seventh pick of Christmas, Kieran gave to me.
Back to the old Everton train, Richarlison, I think could be a decent one to own. Obviously, the fixtures: Burnley at home, Newcastle away. Great 2 fixtures for him. Yeah. Just looking to, new manager, prove himself. Probably going to be the main man, I would imagine. So nailed on for 90 every week. Obviously, got track record of being a good asset when he's on fire. Yeah. So. If he returns, he usually gets bonus. His last 4 weeks, he's an XG of 1.37, which is 5th of all mids. Only 7 shots, though, and that's quite a long way down for people like Sterling and stuff like that, who are like up in the mid-teens. So, 2 big chances, 2 goals, so it means he's clinical at least. 4 key passes in the last 4 weeks, 16 points. But, those stats are okay-ish, but he's had that terrible run of fixtures, hasn't he? So, the fixture swing, as we said, in full effect, and
it's understandable.
Yeah, nailed on Richarlison with a new manager, Ancelotti. We know he's probably going to do well. So, and 25 touches in the box last week, not bad. So,
another midfielder who seems to be doing quite well recently, although not on Sunday, who you've drafted in your team. We can also almost talk about transfers here. Dele Alli, of course. So he's got Brighton home on Boxing Day, and then before New Year's Day, he's got Norwich, or away at Norwich. I'd say he's probably got 2 of the best fixtures over Christmas, or Spurs have as a team. I thought, though, it was just like the disappointment surrounding Sunday's game and all that went with it, how poor they looked in an attacking sense. Dele had no shots. Previous home game, though, he's averaged 9 points per game. And in his last 4 home games, he's had 3 big chances with 2 goals and 2 big chances created with 2 assists. What was the sort of main thinking behind bringing him in, even after sort of seeing Sunday's display?
Just good fixtures still. Probably one of the best fixtures on paper, as you say. Still think Spurs have been so good up until that one game where Chelsea just seemed to outplay them formation-wise and just tactics-wise. So... and I don't think that will definitely happen in other games. But having said that, I think possibly Brighton keep it kind of tight, because I think Brighton went to... Spurs came to Brighton in the reverse fixture, and Brighton won, didn't they? Kept a clean sheet. So, but Dele wasn't in the side then, and he's been basically a revelation since he's come back, hasn't he? So, I just thought it was the obvious move, because I wasn't quite ready to get onto Salah just yet. Because the Leicester fixture is obviously going to be quite tight. So, ready to roll the dice with Dele and just see how it plays out, basically.
Because I take it then you'll get Dele in for this Brighton game, but surely you're not going to take him out before Norwich away, are you? You say you bring him for one game. You think you'd hold him for a bit longer than just that one?
See how he does. It's kind of a test for Dele, and it's also a test of not bringing in Salah to see how he does against Leicester.
Sure.
So it's testing both of them to see if I want to get Dele out again and then bring in Salah for the double up. So, I think it's... I've been sort of burnt by not going when I should have before with Grealish and... who was it else? Jimenez, I think it was the week before that, yeah. No, Rashford, sorry. It was Rashford who scored and Grealish, and I had the 2 free transfers and I burned it, and they both scored that week. And I didn't do it for some reason because they had hard fixtures or whatever. But I've waited this week again, and I hope it's the right decision this time. But it on paper, I think it feels like the right choice.
And Son's red card was just such bad time. When you look at Spurs' fixtures, Brighton, Norwich, Southampton, and they got Liverpool at home, Watford and Norwich away. I mean, on paper, they're probably the second best set of fixtures after maybe Bournemouth at the moment, and for the next 6 games. It's quite a nice run. So having some Tottenham coverage is, I think, probably a good thing to do. But it's just hoping they play in a similar way, even without Son in the team.
That was a reason why to do it as well, because having no Spurs for those fixtures, I think, is a huge worry for sure. And like you said, Son not being there means he'll probably get more chances. Well, I assume at least. So I think it's just all on Dele at the moment to provide Kane and to get in the box, and Eriksen, I guess, plays maybe. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So I think we should also probably talk about Salah, because he's coming back to form now and he's been looking really good in the past 2 games. So he's top for shots in the box, 12. So that was in game weeks, the actual game weeks he played in. So 17 and 16 in those 2, which is 3 more than the next best. 3 goals, 2 assists, 3 goals and 2, an assist, and 5 bonus for 29 points in 2 games. He was pretty hot, as some people may say. Pool have scored in at least 2 in their last 8 away games. Do you think fatigue is going to affect them going into this Leicester game, or do you think Salah's got a good chance of returning again?
I think he's got a good chance, but I think it's going to be tight, right? Leicester at home under the lights, Boxing Day. Yeah, the last game of that Saturday. What is it, Saturday? I'm not sure what day it is, but sure. So yeah, I think Leicester are going to be well up for it, and I can't see a burning score for Liverpool. That's for sure. I think Leicester could score. I think obviously Leicester can concede as well, so possibly a 1-1, a 2-1 to either team. But who knows if it's definitely going to be Salah. I've got Trent, I've got Mane, so I'm happy for them to start and hope for goals. I'm probably going to bench Shunku, but Salah. Did look good. I didn't watch the Club World Cup final, but apparently he did well. It's like I said earlier, I think it's just a test for me to see how he does. Hopefully he doesn't go massive and he just looks good, so that I can bring him in the next few weeks, because that double up could be good. At the same time, their fixtures are difficult,
but they're Liverpool
all the
at the
next
moment.
All the next 5 are difficult. I can't see them massively beating any team of the next 5, whereas City's fixtures are really good, and if there's a space for you to get the double up with Sterling until game week 25, when Liverpool's fixtures are awesome again, then that could be a way to go as well. But yeah, I do like Salah. Missed owning him, so we'll see.
Yeah. Well, he interestingly, in these corresponding fixtures last season, it was Mane who scored 3 of the 4 goals Liverpool scored, and I don't actually think Salah recorded any attacking returns. He might have maybe picked up an assist in that Leicester away game. I vaguely remember someone cutting it back to Mane who scored.
No, I hope that's good.
But yes, maybe. So I think it's an interesting decision for me, because I am looking at Salah for this game week, and purely just going for once on Liverpool, sort of ignoring fixtures, because they're beating pretty much everyone at the moment in this race for the title. And I think if you can double up on 2 of their attacking players, I think it's probably going to be a good investment, especially before game week 25, when, like you said, they have that really good run.
You yourself said, I think Leicester are going to win this
game.
Yeah,
I do think they're going to win this game. I think they are going to win it, but I still that doesn't mean Salah's not going to score. I also thought Leicester looked quite open in the game against City, and City did dominate them, and Leicester trying to play on the break. So I do think it's going to be it'll be a difficult game for Liverpool, and I'm still not sure about them because of all the travelling, but I don't think they're going to blank in front of goal.
I know Leicester was slightly open, but I think it was the occasion away at Etihad, and City just had a really good game. I think they just outplayed Leicester, so I don't think Leicester are terrible from now on or anything, but I do think this will be a tight game for sure.
All right, who's last on your?
So my 5th and final pick is going to be Maupay at 5.8 million, 1.8%. Yeah, his fixtures are Tottenham away, obviously tough, but they've done well. Beat Tottenham at home this year. Bournemouth at home, Chelsea at home, which is going to be tough. Everton away, Aston Villa at home, and then Bournemouth away. So they're fixtures from Gameweek 16 scoring forwards. So yeah, 1.8% owned. I think it's kind of criminal considering his form and fixtures coming up. 9, 8, 6 and 2 in his last 4 weeks. So yeah, decent form. And history in this form. Last year, obviously not Maupay, but last year I think they made Tottenham sweat, and I think Eriksen got a last minute winner. In the double game week. So yeah, I like him. He's doing well at the moment. Game week 20 at Bournemouth at home could be a sort of time to get on him as a sort of like ahead of the sort of curve, because from game week 22 I think a whole heap of other teams and managers are going to be on him because that fixture run is so good, and I expect him to score against Tottenham, and I don't see why he can't against Bournemouth. So yeah, even Chelsea at home I think he could probably score. So he looks like he's the main man again. Last 4 weeks is an XG of 2.34, which is pretty big. 13 shots, 8 on target, 9 in the box, so all in the right place. 3 big chances, 3 goals, so he's clinical.
He's got some great numbers,
like I said before, he does, yeah. His XA is 0.55, so he's not exactly, like we said before, getting the sort of assists as well. So, but hopefully he can up that sometime soon. And obviously his price is so good that you can afford to possibly get Sterling or Salah as well, sort of thing. So, XG is 5th of all forwards last 4 weeks, is pretty good. 2-headed attempts as well, which is good. 7th for forwards touches in the boxes with 23 of the last 4 weeks. So yeah, I think he looks good going forward. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I quite like him actually, and he's impressed. But obviously Brighton sort of blanked quite hard against Sheffield United. I don't think they had many shots on target, but he did well in that away game last time before Crystal Palace. And like you say, he's a good price point. It's obviously difficult, sort of a difficult option to go for because he's so cheap. If you sort of move your budget around, and there isn't many people sort of within like 0.4 of him, if you like. Because I think Ings is sort of got away from that price point now, so he's more than 0.5 more expensive than him. So yeah, if you did move to Maupay, it almost seems like you'd be making 2 transfers to upgrade him sometime down the line. But he is playing well.
You probably want to keep hold of him for that run of fixtures anyway. Yeah. So
I do like him. All right, well, should we wrap up today's show by just talking a little bit about captaincy, clean sheets, and then our Coug Hub picks for this week. Do you want to start and just talk about captaincy? Because at the moment it looks like you've got it on Vardy. Yeah,
currently Vardy, reliable. Possibly a tired Liverpool counter-attack under the lights at home. Big atmosphere, Boxing Day. I don't see why he can't score again. Otherwise, it's possibly Rashford, because he's still got the top XG of all players in the moment. So, and with hashtag Pogback, he might get a new lease of life and do well again. So, there's even Tammy, who's had a lot of shots recently. Who looks pretty good, but. And Southampton at home, I think they've got, and obviously Tammy's form at home has not been as good as away, but so there's a question mark there. So it's actually kind of tough this week.
Yeah, it is tough again.
No real obvious one, to be honest.
What about Jack Grealish, Super Jack?
Yeah, Jack has looked good as well. So I don't know. He that game, I don't know. Without the wonder goal, will he have got a return? I'm not sure, but everything does come through him, and he has looked very lively. So. He is definitely an option as well, because that Southampton defence is poor. So.
Yeah, well, as we sit here, I'm on KDB at the moment, but there are some players who have got much easier fixtures than him on paper, namely Abraham, Grealish, Rashford. So I could still get swayed, but like I say, I've bottled KDB captaincy twice already this season to my detriment, so I'll either make it third time lucky and stick with him and him do well, or...
Who did they play again?
They play Wolves away, yeah. I mean, they did lose there last season, and they lost at home to Wolves already this season, so it's not like they've done very well against them. But I just think he's in such good form at the minute. I mean, I know he picked up that yellow card and didn't make his return seem so good, but I don't know.
Do you think it's... I I know that you're expecting him to be rotated at least one of the next two, right? Would it be this one or the next one?
I think he'll probably play both of them. I think Pep got asked about it in today's press conference, and he said that he picked up a little bit of cramp, but he was going to be fine for Boxing Day. So I'd expect him to play both.
All those fixtures within the same amount of time.
I think that just the Premier League is so important. He's probably going to have to play in most of them and get rested when they get into the FA Cup in January. So yeah, I think he'll get. Also, they've got the longest break between games because I believe they played on Saturday evening and they actually played the day after Boxing Day.
Sunday,
yeah, so
so not Sunday. I'm getting the days wrong. Yeah,
you can tell you're in holiday
Friday.
mode. Yeah, but yeah, they do. They have that extra day's rest over some teams, so maybe that'll make a difference.
Well, if you're calling him now, stick on him. Don't sway again.
Who do you think is going to get a clean sheets this game week? That's all right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Everton. I think they'll get one. At home to Burnley. Digne, my man, I've talked about earlier. I think could get one. And then, weirdly enough, the two teams who had that terrible fixture last week, I think Arsenal under Arteta could get one this week.
All right. Yeah. No, I stick with those two picks. I think that could happen. I'm not sure. Maybe Spurs. Maybe Aurier owners will finally get some. Although I do like Maupay and how well they played, I could see Brighton haven't been so good away from home, and I feel like after losing, Jose might change his tactics around a little bit and go a little more defensive. And I'd probably also say Sheffield United, Keek, because they're the cool pick.
Yeah, or Watford beating United, turn around this season. Maybe.
All right then, let's have your Cougar Cub pick for this game week. You better go first.
Right, I was going to pick Pepe, but I'm not sure he's going to start. So I'm going to go for Haller, actually.
Okay, all right.
2.3%, Crystal Palace away. So, yeah, I think he scored in the last fixture. Not the last fixture, so their last game. I think maybe he's back to his best.
Okay, I like it. Well, I'm going to pick a player who I've looked at for this game week, but I don't think I'm going to bring him because I've had him before and he's always just been a transfer out waiting to happen. But I'm going to go Lucas Moura because give me some coverage in the Spurs game. And I fancy Spurs to sort of bounce back there and Moura to be involved somehow. I also think he's pretty guaranteed to play as well. I was really close. I thought you'd pick Eriksen actually and double down on your Spurs coverage. And it was quite close to picking Eriksen as well. But yeah, I'm going to go for Moura. I think Eriksen's a cheeky little differential at the moment now.
Yeah. So does that mean you're not bringing in someone like Ali for your transfers? You're going to go Salah?
My transfers, yeah. I'm about 90% sure I'm going to get Salah in, and I'm going to downgrade Trent to someone. Yeah. And then that means I can keep Rashford in my team for this home game against Newcastle. And then if Rashford appears to continually be bad, he can get downgraded to Jimenez, and I can probably upgrade back to Trent somehow.
Yeah, that was certainly what I was looking at. I was looking at possibly a Tomori in for Rashford, for Trent, sorry, but I'm not sure he's nailed either. So that was. I don't know, how much do you have in the bank when you do that for Trent downgrade?
I'm not sure. Maybe 4.9.
Yeah, see, I had 4.8, and I was struggling to find anyone that I really fancied at all. So that's kind of half of the reason why I went from Ali this week, just to see what happens. Yeah. And then I can kind of see how Dunk looks as well. I think he's possibly one I could see if Holgate starts under Ancelotti. So that was a reason for me to just wait one more week as well, because if Holgate plays under Ancelotti, I'll be possibly onto him.
No, that would be a good shout, actually. Yeah, lots to wait and see on. All right, I think that probably wraps up tonight's show. Have a great Christmas and enjoy all the football that's on. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to some of the juicy games on Boxing Day. Liverpool, I've been saying it for weeks. That Leicester Liverpool game, I can't wait for. So it's just bring it on. All right, so goodbye from me until next time.